Hello everyone, and let's do a quick book talk. This is for an ebook that I read titled The Inn at Dolphin Bay. This was written by Mia Kent, and this is book number 1 in a 6-book series. This was published in 2021. The name of the series is Dolphin Bay. This is an adult romance, but there is no sexually explicit content in this book, so this is a sweet romance. This is also tagged as a chicklet. This was told in third person. When I read this book, there was no audiobook available. So what's this one about? This one we're following Tana. She's in a relationship with this man in California who's this big producer, well known. As a lot of things in Hollywood, there's an affair. And she decides to split. So it's her husband, and she does have a daughter who is a new adult range. She's freshly in college. Her daughter is in, I believe it was New York, but that's neither here nor there. Her daughter's in another state. So she tells her daughter about the situation that her and her husband are separated, and she thinks her daughter's mad at her, and things like that. So, and I can totally understand that as a child from divorced parents. Although for me, it was it was my fault and everything, where as an adult and your parents get divorced, I think it's probably similar but different as far as emotions go. I think when you're a young child, it's my fault. What did I do wrong? At least in my experience and what I've heard a lot of people talk about. But regardless, we're following the mother of this. This is the only point of view that we are following. So she decides to go to this little island off the coast where her uncle was. She would spend summers there with her uncle. He owned this inn, hence Dolphin Bay Inn, and it was real popular. People loved it. So she arrives. Turns out that he, during the whole midst of this separation, she gets a call from her mother. Her uncle had a stroke and is in the hospital. So she goes there to spend time away from her husband while they sort through some stuff during the separation. And finds out the inn is not as in good of a shape as it is, so she does what she can to try to bring some life back into the inn. This is a very small community, so people come together, and they're going to do what they can to help this guy out. This uncle is very much the type of person that he is willing to basically give the shirt off of his back to help people, but he doesn't want to accept help from people. And so there are some things that are revealed and some feelings that come to the conclusion of while Tana is at this place trying to help her uncle. She does meet this one guy and has feelings for him, but obviously she doesn't want to lead him on, which is commendable because she's only separated from her husband right now. And you're finding out, are they going to get back together? Is it going to be a continuous separation? Or is it going to end in divorce? You do find out which one of those answers does happen in this book, but while she is still trying to figure out what route things are going to go, she's not going to lead this guy on, which I loved that. So that's the story. They're just trying to get this inn ready for when her uncle comes back, and of course they're trying to get past his prickly exterior to say, hey, you're worth being helped. We want to help you. Let us help you. And things like that. And they do find out why this hotel has gone downhill as far as it being dirty, things falling apart and things like that. They do find out why. And it's one of those things that it's like, I can't believe a certain there's talk of a hurricane, and people in the community helping each other, and so it's understandable why things got pushed to the back burner during that time while the community was trying to rebuild post the hurricane, but why things never came back from the back burner to the front burner to fix in the hotel or in the inn. You do find out why, and it's very sweet and understandable and sad, and it was a very sweet story. Very sweet romance. Friendships are made. Friendships that Tana had while she was there as a child are rekindled because it's been years apart, and so they reconnect, which was awesome. So that's what the book is about. Your content and trigger warnings, as you may have picked up from that description, you have suicide, you have stroke mentioned and affair mentioned. As I did just say, suicide is one of the words that pops up, and it only comes up one time. And then the other word that comes up is God, and I don't recall if this was in a religious sense or not. It was only one time out of this whole book. It was 206 pages for the edition that I read, and it was brief enough. I don't remember if it was religious or not. So regardless, it's just one time out of the whole book, and that's it. That's really all I have to say. So if you don't like books that contain sexually explicit language, but you do like romance, but nothing with sexually explicit language or content, this may be up your alley. I know that some people like the sweet romance as long as it's not a Christian or other religious romance. So I would not classify this as a religious romance or Christian romance at all. This is just a sweet romance. The other tag, again, as I said, was chick lit, so there's no religious references or anything like that. So it's a sweet romance, nothing explicit, and nothing religious. So there you go. That's what this book is about. Let me know, do you prefer the spicy or do you prefer the sweet? And if you prefer the sweet, do you prefer the one without any religious context or background, or do you prefer more like the Christian type romance? Let me know. I'd be curious to know what your thoughts are. I like them all. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. Is this a series that you would be interested in? Oh, and I did forget to mention, so Tana, I will say this, Tana, when she's in this relationship with her husband, when she finds out about the repair, they're living in California. When I say off the coast, this island is off the coast of Maine. I did forget to mention that. So it is off the coast of Maine. Let me know your thoughts. Talk to me in the comment section below. And until next time, stay true to yourself and enjoy a good book. And I will talk to you later.